So what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lost in the Woods. I'm Vera, and I'm with my good friend Chase.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm great. We've been friends for a very long time, my friend.
Yeah, we have.
Probably since high school. What, senior year? I mean, I've known of you since middle school.
Did we go to what elementary school?
Hayes.
What elementary school did you go to, though?
Oh, I went to Dixie.
Oh, never mind. All right, so yeah, we knew each other at Hayes.
Yeah. I knew of you at
we
Hayes.
knew of each other. We never really talked.
See, that's like one of the things that I've always thought was kind of weird in middle school. Like, because it's like, even in high school, it's kind of like, I knew who everybody was.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if everybody knew who I was.
Right.
So it's kind of like, yeah, I knew of you, but like, did somebody else know me that was popular in high school or something?
I wasn't popular in high school. So.
Well, I'm talking about everybody.
Okay, I got you.
Like the popular kids.
Right. Is there somebody you know of? Aaron. I got you.
Yeah, I always thought about it like that, but I never really like. It's not like I stay awake, man. Oh man, I wish somebody knew who I was at night. But I just think that was something that was kind of crazy to think about, like, because when you grow up in high school, it's kind of just like, man, I wish I was popular, or like, because like that's how emo kids are, and like gothic.
I think back in high school, it's like that a lot. It's popularity's kind of like the quote unquote economy.
But yeah. I mean, I was definitely off that lunch food. Did you eat lunch food, or did you?
Yeah, I eat lunch food all the time.
Everybody was hating on it. Like those like little square pizzas. You ever eat the breakfast pizzas? Like,
like the
those were good as fuck.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god! Like those are probably the best breakfast. Like you could have pizza for breakfast.
They got them at Speedway.
They have them at Speedway.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah.
How much are they?
$2 a slice.
Is it like the actual square?
They're not squares. They're like normal pizza triangles. But they're better than the ones at school because they've got a lot more gravy.
They have a lot more. Did they have gravy at school?
I thought they did. They might. I don't know if I'm.
I thought it was just like a really cheesy, like almost like it was like a white cheese.
I think back when I was in elementary school, they had a little bit of gravy underneath it as a sauce. That's like all the.
You said in elementary?
Yeah, back in elementary school.
I don't even know if they served that at elementary for me.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't eat breakfast though at elementary, so I don't know.
I only went a few times. Just went there a few times. They used to play. Is it not Hey Arnold? Arthur. There you go. It was Arthur.
Hey Arnold.
I was thinking Hey Arthur.
There was this meme that I saw with Hey Arthur. It was like whenever you get one of your friends to listen to one of your mixes, and you know how his ears are above his head.
He's got headphones on his head.
it's like not even on his ears. I always thought that was funny. Something that I do want to talk about though is the up-and-coming media.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about that. Like, what are your goals about that?
So, with the up-and-coming, we're still trying to figure that out. One big thing that we want to come across for everybody is what you don't get taught in school.
Like what?
Like pretty much everything you don't get taught at school. Finances, bills, how to invest, how to grow yourself.
I took the co-op class in high school, but it didn't really teach you like anything. Like, honestly, I don't really remember anything from high school, so I mean, that could just be me. Mm-hmm. But I don't really remember anything like them talking about like how to actually go and pay a bill.
No, I never learned that. So I did my senior year. Remember Mrs. E?
I didn't have her.
Oh, she was cool. She was awesome.
What'd she teach?
Really awesome. She taught math. But one neat thing that she also taught was every like Friday, I believe, she tried to think of something that would teach us in the real world. Like one day she had her mechanic come and would... I'm on the clock or something?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering.
It's for how long we're going.
Okay. But yeah, she had her mechanic come and teach us how to change a tire. I didn't know how to do that till then.
Do you still retain that knowledge?
Yeah, I had 2 flats back-to-back weeks. Thank God.
Talking about a bad week.
Yeah, so not fun paying for it. But yeah, she taught us that. She taught us how to pay bills. She taught us how to make a budget for a house. Like, you want to buy a house, here's your bills, the average amount of what bills are in America. And it was just really cool. It was really neat.
Yeah, I don't even know how to change a tire. I mean, I don't think it's like something that you're kind of taught unless you got like a flat tire, like from your family.
Yeah, there's no like real scenario where it's like, oh, let's teach somebody how to change a flat tire. I mean, that never really comes up.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I had to change a tire was probably, I don't even know, probably like 12 years ago. That was at my dad's garage, and I don't remember any of it. So it's like it's not really important to remember it until it happens.
Until it happens and you're on the side of the road and then you're like,
now what do I do? Yeah. Well, shit. Now AAA.
Yeah, I mean, I'm AAA, so thank God for that.
Yeah. Do you actually have a spare tire in the back of your car?
So I did. I took it to the shop, and I had a huge, piece of, I don't know what, it was like a triangle shard that was stuck in my tire. And so
triangle shard?
I don't know what it was.
Aliens?
I don't know, man. It was something crazy. But he showed it to me, and they were like, all right, yeah, we'll change your tire. You're good to go. So I paid and left, and...
How much was it?
I don't remember.
Probably like 200, 300.
Right, yeah, it wasn't 300. No, it was 150 to 200. That's it.
Best be giving me a new tire for 300.
Exactly. Yeah. So I went to look in the back, and then spare's gone. Spare's not there. Jack's there laying on top.
Was it under your car or was it in your trunk? Because mine, I think, is under my car.
It was in my trunk. It was, you lifted it up, and you have to go underneath the padding. You lift that up, and then you got all the fun equipment there, the jack, and then.
Does your car, like, this may be like something that happens to every car, but does it have the tools, or do you have to get the tools and then put them in your trunk, and then if that occasion happens,
mine came with the tools.
Oh.
I think all cars are like required by law to have like the basic necessities to change a tire.
Where was yours? Because I don't even know if mine has it, to be honest.
It was just right next door to it, so I lifted it up, and then.
Did you buy your car new?
I bought it used now.
Huh. Yeah, I bought mine used. I don't think mine has it.
You might want to start getting some.
Yeah, well, I need to change my tires, get my oil changed.
I got him oil changed too.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
it's not good.
That's just something you don't worry about until
the pollen this year is so bad.
Do what?
The pollen this year is
pollen. Yeah, I mean, we live in Kentucky though. It's just this way all the time. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like every year it's kind of like, oh, this year is the worst season. Like it's always worse
than the year before that.
Yeah, it's like, but this year, I mean, it is really bad.
It's not good. Yeah.
I mean, I just washed my car and it's already like the whole hood is just green from pollen.
Really?
It sucks.
Jeez.
I'm like,
well, you got a black car, so that might be why.
Yeah, and I live right under a pollen tree.
Well, then that might be the reason why.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest reason. But what else do you have for the Up-and-Coming Media?
So. Right now, we're focused on getting some videos out. We just post motivational quotes right now, which, I mean, it's kind of boring, to be honest. I love the motivational quotes, but I would rather convey that in a video. I would rather have them, like me talking about it, and me and Carson talking about it. We're both CEOs and co-CEOs of it. I'd rather have the videos because it's more, I don't want to say interactive because it's a video, but it's not a picture you just look at. It's something that's, makes your brain more active, I guess.
How are you gonna, where do you plan on shooting, a video, at your house? Or?
Yeah, so we're gonna go downtown. We're gonna
that'd be dope.
Yeah, we're throwing something around. We want to interview some people. Not gonna tell you what.
Just on the street?
Yep.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool. Just talk to different people, find out some different stuff.
What are you gonna talk to them about?
Anything. Just try to strike up a conversation, see where it goes, and then boom, you figure out something interesting about it.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you meet Carson?
So, I met him when I was selling Spectrum. He actually interviewed me.
How long ago was that? Was that 2 years ago? 1 year ago now?
It was over a year ago. It was, I'd say it was over a year and a half ago. Or close up to it, because it was right around fall time a few years ago.
So is that really what sparked your all's relationship? Y'all just had a really similar mindset?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we both thought we can make something great of ourselves. We can just do some bigger stuff than what we see around us. We don't want to just settle. That's what we kind of talked about. We don't want to just settle for the norm of the other 99%. We want to be that other 1%.
That's actually really dope.
Thank you.
I like people that have ambition.
Absolutely.
If you don't have ambition, it's what are you living for?
I mean, if they find something else, it's not ambition. They figure it's something else, they get comfortable.
Yeah, I think there's this YouTube channel. It's called the Yes Theory, and I think their slogan is probably one of the best slogans I've ever heard.
What is it?
It's seek discomfort.
I like that.
That's really it's 2 words, and it's a very deep, meaningful phrase.
Yeah,
it's just whenever you're comfortable, it's almost like a disease. Yeah, you get so familiar with everything. It's just the normal thing. It becomes a habit.
Yeah, you just get stuck, and that's how the quote unquote rat race is, I guess, to where you get stuck doing the same thing because you're comfortable and you have no real like reason to do something different, and then boom, 40 years has passed and you're retiring now and you've got your Social Security, which that's probably won't exist by the time we retire, for being honest.
Yeah.
It's gonna be phasing out soon, I feel like.
Me and Eric had this conversation on the last podcast, but do you think like our generation has ambition, or do you think we're just generally lazy? And I'm not just talking about like our generation, but like the generation after us.
Yeah, so, that's a good question. I think. So yeah, in a sense, I think we are getting lazier. I mean, adults, or kids back in the day, I should say, used to play outside more because you didn't have the access to technology.
I played the shit out of outside. Man.
Yeah,
I would go outside every day.
But I'm also a kid who got roped into video games as a young age. When I was like 5 or 6, I was playing Xbox, like the original Xbox, playing Homer Simpson Hit and Run. And so I don't think they're getting lazier. I think there's different ways to occupy
their time. I think.
Occupy your time and different ways to.
I think technology is a huge thing. Like technology.
I think we're in the prime point of it right now. It's gonna go so much more to where we're at, but it's so crazy how 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, how different it was versus what it is now.
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, you got virtual reality. When we were kids, we didn't have that. That's insane to me. It's like you can literally live in a virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's only growing technology, too. It's still relatively new. Like 2-3 years, really.
Have you played, the Breakout game?
No.
Where you go inside of a room? Nope. Okay, never mind. So they have a virtual reality one. It was a little test they did, and it was Assassin's Creed. And it was the coolest thing ever.
It was Assassin's Creed? It
was Assassin's Creed themed, yeah. It was me and 3 other people, and you had to work in virtual reality, and you could like point, click, boom, you moved over there. You had to pick up stuff, figure out puzzles, work teamwork. You had microphones, and everyone had a different voice, so it was hard to communicate. And it was so cool.
Did you ever see the movie Game?
No, I have not.
Well, it's like this person that's living in real life, and he would go inside of this room, and it was basically like a virtual reality, but it would happen in the real world. So he was controlling somebody in the real world.
Oh, I might have seen a preview for that. I haven't seen the book or the movie.
It was actually really cool, but they actually came out with the very first game that is controlled in real life. It's like a little RC car game, and it's like, I think it's over in like Germany or Berlin or something like that, like Russia. I don't know.
That area, yeah.
Yeah, it's over there on the other side.
Right.
But like you control like this like little RC car, and like it's just the beginning. Like that to me is just mind blowing. It's just like you're controlling something on the other side of the world as a game.
It's neat. Like I think the next 20 years, people will find a reason not to go outside. Because virtual reality is going to be that advanced.
I think it's going to be a crazy world we live in 20 years. It's going to be like, man, I wish I was a kid, like growing up with all these things.
Worry about all this stuff.
Yeah. I wish like virtual reality was a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's where I'd be at now.
Well, I'd probably still be inside just playing video games all day.
Right.
I don't know. That's the thing, though. I think with kids nowadays, it's just kind of like they just don't know what it's like to go outside. They don't know how to socialize. I feel like that's a huge factor.
Yeah, socialization is I think it is one of, I don't know if it's the most, but it's one of the most important skills to have, like communication skills. A lot of those kids lack it. If they get uncomfortable, they look down at their phone, they don't want to strike up a conversation or talk to somebody.
Ugh, I hate it. I was talking last podcast, there was this chick that would work behind the counter at Target, and she got fired the week that she got hired because she would not get off of her phone.
Jeez.
It was so sad. I was like, and she was in high school. She was like 17. I was like, jeez. I don't know what to expect. Like, I just hope that it doesn't get so bad to where it's like, well, I guess the biggest thing is like, it's kind of like taboo to talk a lot about things that we used to be able to talk about.
Right, okay.
And I feel like that's also has to do with like kids growing up in like the technology age now, where like everything's so instant. So it's like whenever you're like get off the phone, I feel like that is eventually just going to become taboo. Like don't talk about that. Like you're telling somebody to get off their phone? What do you mean? I think that's
I can see that.
That's where it's going, I feel like.
Yeah, I think technology worked its way into our lives to where it's in your pocket. You have access to news, weather. You can call somebody from around the world. You can do anything, and it's right inside your pocket.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about was, what are your personal goals? I mean, you have the up-and-coming media goals.
Right.
But what are your personal goals?
So, I'm getting back into the gym.
Hey, I was going to talk to you about that.
I'm excited about that, yeah. I'm getting back in the gym, getting the membership next week.
Where are you going?
The Rock.
The Rock? Mm-hmm. It sounds like a good gym.
It should be fun. It's over at church, so it's cheaper. It's not bad.
Yeah? What are some other goals?
So, honestly, just getting my money right in a sense of setting myself up to where I can eventually stop working my job, that 9 to 5, to where I can make passive income and do some things that I want. Like my big, huge goal of mine. And in the next, I'm going to say 3 years. I said 5. In the next 3 years, I'm going to take my mom to Italy. Tour of Italy. Her passion is to go to Italy, and I've looked it up, some different trips, do like a 14-day private tour guide.
That's something that I'd be interested in doing. Not to like just tour, but like I watched this YouTube channel, TFIL, The Fun Things in Life. And they travel across the world, and like they do a bunch of things, like they go skydiving, hang gliding, bungee jumping, and like they do a bunch of things that are like overseas, and then they come back and then they like throw parties. They're just having fun. Exactly. The fun things in life, and I feel like that's something I really want to do. It's just travel and go over there and do it, like explore the land.
Definitely, yeah, because I saw a quote. I don't know if I don't have it saved. I know that it's just one day you're going to wake up and the things you want to do you can't, or you're not gonna have time to do things you wanted to do, and that's a big fear of mine. I don't want to. No, I'm in my 20s, and I'm scared of like getting stuck. I want to get my money right to where I can go and do these things. I can take my family on these trips. Just not have to worry about going to work, clocking in every day, and let that take up my time, majority of my day. I want to enjoy it with my family.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like my biggest fear is not being able to slow down.
What do you mean?
Because like I'm always working as a 20-year-old, and I'm about to turn 21 August, but that's kind of like a scary thing for me, is that I'm always working constantly. I won't have time to go out and have fun. And I've been working since I was 9.
Yeah, you tell me about that. Yeah, with your dad.
Yeah, I mean, and not like for money or anything, but just pulling my weight.
Exactly.
And so I mean, it gave me a good work ethic. But like, I've been working my whole life. I want to go out and have fun. Like I lived a little bit when I was 18.
Right. Yeah.
19.
You had to. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of just dissolved into where I'm at now, where I'm just working 40 hours a week, going to school 2 days a week. Trying to keep my diet right, trying to keep slim. I need to start going back to the gym too. I mean, really, I feel myself getting fat, and I don't fuck with that.
No, I understand it, man. I got fat. I lost some weight, thank God. I've lost like 15, 20 pounds.
How are you losing weight?
Just eating less.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Yeah, just eating a whole bunch less.
Yeah. Eric said if you eat 2,000 calories a day, you'll automatically just start losing weight. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but you gotta have some exercise.
Depends on your body type. I mean, I have been doing no exercise. And like this belt I've got on, I've got it on the second loop. I used to not be able to like barely get on the first. And I've just been eating a whole lot less. I haven't worked out in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I've lost a whole lot of muscle with that, but
I was gonna tell you, man, I came across a Snapchat memory the other day, and it was you filming me doing some curls. I don't know if you remember that. We were standing at LA Fitness, and I was just doing curls, and I filmed you doing it, and then you filmed me doing it. That came up like it was like a year ago, and I was like, damn, man.
It's a while ago.
Working out with Chase was fun though.
It was.
It was great. It was a
really fun time.
The only thing that I didn't really fuck with, and this is kind of, it's not necessarily funny, but it's kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Is that me and you, we stayed friends.
Yeah.
But we would work out with another guy named TJ, and we don't talk. I don't talk to him anymore. Do you?
I actually work with him.
Oh, you work with him again?
Yeah. Just funny. Me and him have been like really close friends since Weed Man Lawn Care. We've just kind of kept in touch. He's been working out hard. He's like getting his like body right.
That's good. The one thing that I have an issue with him is that when we would go to LA Fitness, because it was just me and him for a while, if you remember. So I mean, we became cool and all that.
Yeah.
But when we were gonna get this personal training plan together, And at the last minute, he kind of backed out. And so I had signed up. And it was kind of too late for me to back out because it was a year contract. And so I had already signed it, and then he didn't sign. And so I was trying to contact him, but like, hey man, like, are you gonna, come through and like pitch in, or like what are you doing? And he never got back to me.
He has a bad habit of not texting back, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah. I get that. Like, not everybody's gonna respond when you want them to. But on their own time. But I got stuck with like a $2,400
bill
contract. And so it was like every month it kind of screwed me over. It taught me a lot, in which I can't really hate him for that. I don't really hate him anyway. I think it's a bad thing to hate somebody. I mean, you gotta really have like a really strong dislike for somebody if you're gonna hate them.
You gotta cut out those people and the negativity. If you feel like if they're not lifting you up, bringing you positivity, you just gotta cut them off, because it's not gonna do any good for you.
And I stopped talking to him. He tries to hit me up every once in a while. Like not the last time, but the time before. I'm not gonna lie, I ignored him last time he tried to contact me. But the time before that, he tried to sell me his car. And I was like, you're coming back to me after you had screwed me over on a contract, trying to sell me your car. I don't have money anyway because I'm still in this contract. So it was kind of like a shitty thing for me. And I feel like he's always been like a good, genuine person. He was fun to be around. He was good to work out with, and he was there when like we would. Like, hey man, be there at like 7 o'clock. Because he had to work at Spectrum. So, I'd be there and then he'd be there. He would always work out in his work clothes. It was kind of weird. I wonder if he still does that.
I think so.
Do you know if he goes to LA? I would think when I was working at LA Fitness, I think he went in there and canceled his membership.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was kind of weird because I was standing over in the corner. I was the janitor, and I was like, is that TJ? I was like, oh, it's TJ. So I kind of like stood over in the corner because, that's when I wasn't really like being cool with him and he wasn't being cool with me. And again, I can't really blame him for that. I mean, everybody has their own issues, their own problems to deal with.
He's grown up since then, matured since then, for sure. I can tell. It's just, I don't know what was going on with him then. I haven't really talked to him a whole bunch about it.
Well, like I said, everybody fights their own demons. Everybody has their own problems to deal with. So, in my opinion, I think that he should have at least let me know before I would have signed up for that. But we were pretty hell-bent on it. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of got me into shape for a while. It kept me going to the gym and gave me an incentive to go to the gym.
You started fucking hustling,
Yeah, but ultimately, look at me now. I kind of fell off. But
no, I think you look good. Well, seriously, man.
When I was running mile, my lowest mile was 740.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I didn't realize
it's not great, but it's not bad.
I was telling my brother because he would go into the military, or he was in the military, and he said that his lowest mile that he ran was like 6 minute flat. And so I was like comparing like military standards
versus
to my standard, and I was like 740 is relatively good.
Yeah, you can cut that down to.
My goal when I was running was 6 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay.
Which honestly is very attainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just got to stay consistent. I was running for probably like a month and a half.
Yeah, so if you would have kept with it for amount of time whenever you started, it's like back when I was fucking like 17, I was gonna run every day in the summer. I did it once. Then it rained. I went back home. Like 20 minutes later, I never ran again. Yeah,
that's really how it is. Like, you got to stay so consistent. And what I was telling Eric, I was like, you got to be. If you're gonna create a strong discipline, the best way to do it is stay consistent.
Oh yeah, you have to be.
I think consistency is the key to success, really. Because when you're consistent, you create the discipline, and when you have discipline, it becomes success. I think that's a huge thing that most people our age don't have, is discipline, including me right now. I don't really have discipline other than, staying consistent with my work and my school.
And your music.
Yeah, and my music.
1,000%. Yeah, you always put up.
Something I do want to talk about, and this is just, this is kind of just like a me thing, is that I have a beat block right now.
So what's that?
A beat block is basically where everything you hear sounds the same.
Okay.
So like my beats, like I'll be making like a beat, and I'm like, like it sounds the same as last beat.
Okay.
And so like that's why I haven't posted a beat in over like a week. I think it's been like a week and a day.
Yeah, okay.
Which kind of sucks. The last beat that I posted, I got a lot of good feedback from it. And that was pretty cool. But like when you have like a beat that goes on like that, it's like I want to recreate that. I want to replicate it. I want to duplicate that.
Right.
I like that feeling. I want to be successful and make people like these beats consistently. And so when I have a beat block, it's kind of unmotivating in a way. It's kind of like, man, I just need to keep doing it.
Right, but you want to sound different. You don't want to feel like you're doing the same beat every time.
Yeah, and one of my friends, Chris Howes, excuse me, he was saying that I needed to change a hi-hat because all my hi-hat samples are the same.
Okay.
So it's like every song you hear the same hi-hat just in a different pattern.
Right.
I mean, it would sound good, but like,
it's the same thing every time.
Right, and if you're somebody who makes beat or makes music,
you notice that shit.
You notice it like ASAP, especially if you have like 3 or more songs that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just hear all the same thing. Yeah, absolutely. There's like a lot of artists out now that make fire hits, but you'll notice some little tweaks like this shit sounds the same as last time.
Not to get off topic, but something I do want to talk about a little bit is real estate.
Okay.
Do you plan on buying any real estate anytime soon?
So I've got to get like my money right first, obviously. That's why I'm doing all the stuff we talked about earlier.
Looking at real estate.
So I have been looking at real estate. Honestly, in a perfect world, which it probably won't happen, but in a perfect world, I want to buy a duplex first.
Oh yeah.
It probably won't happen. I'll probably have to buy a single family home and then have enough equity to get a duplex out of that after a few months. Then get the duplex myself, which wouldn't be too bad because I would get double the income, so to say, from that. But in an ideal world, I get a duplex now, rent out the other side, have equity on that one house, then I either buy another duplex or buy myself a house. So I've been looking at real estate, but I haven't been focusing on it so much, just because I'm a long way away, and the houses I'm looking at more than likely aren't going to be available by that time.
Right. One thing that I like to talk about my dad with is real estate.
Yeah.
And for everybody that doesn't know, my dad is, I would say, pretty successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
He likes to say, like, you know, the first property that he wants to buy is a duplex. Probably like $100,000 duplex, put like a $20,000 payment on it, down payment on it.
But yeah, you gotta it'd be 20 to 25, yeah, with the being an investment property.
Right. And so you rent out both sides, like even if it was like $700, that's $1,400 pulling in. Mortgage is probably going to be around $400, $500.
Yeah, it depends on his credit score and the interest rate at the time.
Right. I mean, it's not going to be higher than $800.
No, it wouldn't be anything crazy. It shouldn't be anything. No, it shouldn't be anything crazy.
Yeah, so like you're going to be making, and plus you got to pay. Well, this is something you may know. Do you have to pay the utilities, or is it the tenants?
So you have to. So you technically have to pay the utilities, but you can incorporate that into with the rent. Like, listen, you're going to have the rent this month. It's something you work out before you have tenants move in. You can say, hey, listen, I'm going to charge you, let's say, $800 a month for rent. That's including utilities. Or I'm going to charge you $600 a month for rent, and you've got to pay utilities. And from an owning standpoint, it's just kind of a personal preference. Personally, I would take the lower rent than have them pay it. Yeah. Just because, I mean, let's say they just decide to just have the heat on the entire fucking wintertime, and then I'm losing $150, $200 because their rent's $600 or their rent's $800, and they're spending $1,000, comes to $1,000, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's kind of a personal preference.
Whenever you're talking about real estate, for like your first property, I feel like everybody who owns like or is about to own their first property, one big question that always comes up to them is like, if you have like a family living there and like they're struggling on paying this month's rent and like they have nowhere to go and like they're asking for a little bit more time, like would you kick them out?
Oh man, okay, that's a fun question to ask.
It's a hard question though. It's like, man, I don't know what I would do.
So I think you definitely can help them out to an extent.
Like how?
In a sense of don't worry about next month's rent, because then you're losing money.
Yeah, you're losing
on the
money.
Bottom line, to me at least, it comes down to a business standpoint.
Yeah.
This isn't personal, but if you aren't making enough money to make the payments, I'm losing money because I'm still paying the mortgage, even though you can't pay the rent.
Right. Would you give them like a month?
I would try to figure out, say, awesome, when do you get paid next? When do you and your so-and-so, if it's just them, whatever it is, when do you get paid next? Then based off that, I need the rent by this day. And if I don't have it by this day, I'm gonna have to evict you. So even if it's, an extra week or two.
One thing that I had thought of was maybe make them put in a little bit more effort than they weren't putting in before.
How so?
So if something needed to be fixed, they would have to fix it themselves, so that way I wouldn't have to pay a plumber to come and fix it. Or if the grass needs to be mowed, the shingles on the roof, have
them put a little bit of effort into the maintenance of the house and the property.
Right.
Okay.
Start investing their time if they're not investing their money in it.
So,
but you're still ultimately losing money.
So with that, okay, so you would have them pick up the slack, so to say, versus them paying the rent.
Right.
Okay. Personally, I wouldn't do that.
Why?
I'm still losing money. I could come and I could fix I could figure call one of my buddies up, say, I've got an electrical problem, I've got a plumbing problem.
Right, you probably get a discount too, especially if you use them a lot.
Exactly. Yeah, it depends on who you know.
Right.
This goes back to my saying it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, personally, I would prefer to have the money coming in.
I would too.
Making a little more of a convenience for me.
That was just something that I had thought of, because sometimes it's really hard to kick out a family.
It sucks. It doesn't feel good.
At the end of the day, business is business.
Yeah.
And it's if you're not gonna be contributing towards my business, how can I let you? You're not helping my business. You're taking my business down.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't think anybody likes that. Whenever you're taking money from me, basically. So
I think it's the discretion of every person. If some people, they just are in the mindset of money. They're like, okay, they have established a connection with this family or whatever, and they want to help them out because they have that emotional attachment to them. They don't want to kick them out because they like them. They are root for them, so to say.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it goes down to. It's everyone's personal preference. But to me, I'm definitely going to be lenient. I don't want to kick a family out. Be like, all right, listen, you didn't pay rent, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm one with law. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You have to give them some sort of notice when you're
Would you live in a side of the duplex?
Oh, yeah.
Because, you'd still be making money. It wouldn't be as much.
So, in an ideal world, I would live inside of the duplex and I would make a small profit off of the other side. Just so I could have a little bit put aside to where, let's say, the HVAC system goes out or roof needs replaced or whatever happens, they have damages, whatever it is. I would definitely want to make a profit. I wouldn't want to break even on it. But yeah, I wouldn't be like, I'm making an extra $500 a month out of this, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and eventually you'd be able to save up to buy a property, and it kind of just multiplies from that point. That's what's so exciting about real estate. That's because you're living for free, and you're still getting a little bit more money, a little bit more profit. You're still paying off what you need to pay off for the duplex that you're living in, but you're basically living for free.
Exactly.
And then you save up enough money to buy another duplex, and then you're tripling what you're making.
Exactly. That's how you grow your wealth, and that's how you make that passive income more so, to where you have multiple streams of income coming in.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't think about it.
Yeah.
Not real estate. A lot of people know that real estate's profitable.
One of the best investments you can have.
Yeah, because people have to have a place to live.
Exactly.
And that's why the market will never crash.
It did a few years ago, but I know what you're saying, though. People always have to have a place to live.
Yeah. And so, if the market ends up crashing, you raise the price.
Exactly. And you have the leverage because you own the property.
Yeah, so it's do you want a place to live? I'm living comfy, but
Yeah, exactly. If there's limited places and you've got fucking 10, 15, 20 people applying at the same time, daily, weekly, whatever it is, monthly, for your property, you think, oh shit, I've got the leverage here. People want to live here really bad.
Yeah.
So that's when you have the leverage of, I guess rent's going to go up by $200, what I'm going to post it up as. And you can do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of shitty, but
yeah, it is. It's pretty.
It's all situational, but
it's business.
Exactly.
And business is business.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
And everyone's different eyes.
Yeah. The only thing that with business is that you got to keep in mind your personal life, I guess, because if you went through a rough childhood where you were about to get kicked out or evicted, then obviously it would affect your judgment different from how the next person would. So yeah. It's if you were about to get evicted and you know how hard life was then, your perspective on life is going to be a lot different from when you're about to evict somebody if you own a property.
Definitely, yeah, because you've been there. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
You've been down and you understand where that person's at. Let's say, a perfect, great example to where yeah, let's say that person's family did get evicted before, and they were wishing, I wish that tenant would have given us another month, because the parents knew, we would have had another month, we would have been able to pay it, no problem, we could have paid double, whatever. But in the owner's mind, they're thinking, nope, I'm going to kick you out, to where it could definitely be beneficial down the road, where that person ends up owning a property, same situation happens, they understand it, then yeah, so definitely it sucks at the time, but it's going to be a great learning experience.
Yeah.
In my mind, at least. And
kind of segue off of that is, or to piggyback off of that, is like, you see all the like successful people, and I kind of, this is another question, but like, who is your favorite like successful person, and why? It sounds like a open response question, like answer this and why.
Right. No, I got you.
But like,
fifth grade.
Yeah, but one of my biggest like passions in life is like learning about people's stories.
Okay.
And that's another reason why I started this podcast. I mean, obviously, I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
We've gotten pretty close.
Yeah, we know a decent amount about each other.
Yeah, we know a lot about each other. So I mean, like, I want to know a lot about some of these people that are coming on, like these podcasts are. Like where they come from, why are they doing what they're doing? Do they have any aspirations for like the future? Mm-hmm. Like what do they got going on for them?
Right.
Or like you gotta. My dad actually told me this quote. Well, it's not really a quote, but like just kind of like a thing to say. It's kind of like, if you want to preach about something, you have to go through it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And so it's like, you can't go on a podcast, or you can't really go into like a seminar and like be the speaker unless you have a story.
I'm gonna reject real fast based off my response.
Okay.
I don't think you have to go through the scenario to be able to preach it, but I do think you can have more of an insight and a background if you've gone through that. You can research it, learn all about it. You can still teach people about that, even though they may have never gone through that themselves. But I think if you go through it yourself, you know it firsthand, and you learn an experience about it, you have a better view on it and can explain it better because you've actually been there.
Yeah, I agree with that. My perspective on that, though, is like, they may preach about it, but they don't know what it's like.
Exactly. That's where it goes back to having that experience versus hearing about it and researching it.
Yeah. So who is your favorite person to like go to, like your go-to person for quote?
Gary Vaynerchuk. 1,000 fucking. I have a few other people that I love, like Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, Tony Robbins, obviously.
Oh yeah. You know Tony Robbins going through like a sexual harassment case right now?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
There's like, apparently it's allegedly.
Okay.
So
I don't think he did that.
I'm
not gonna say that because I've been surprised by a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But that just.
It just doesn't seem like him.
It seems like, I don't know.
It's just like everything he's preaching about is like he's just going back on and doing it. But apparently 7 women have come out and claimed that they've been sexually harassed.
Well, I just have to wait and see how that plays out.
I'm like, I don't believe it. Because one of the allegedly women, because BuzzFeed, I mean, of course, BuzzFead, but they had came out and alleged this woman that was like his assistant, ex-assistant, or like past assistant.
Right.
And they said that she was sexually harassed, but they took it out of context. Mm-hmm. And apparently, she came out and said to Tony and like publicly that he was nothing but great to her. It never happened, you know.
Okay, so it was something totally out of context.
Yeah, but now there's 7 other women that are coming. I think it's kind of like the Bill Cosby thing.
Man, you get. Oh man, see that shit was. That's. Yeah, I don't know. It's just that's a whole different scenario. Personally, I think, and I don't want to offend anybody with this, but personally, I think if one person hears about that, if they were somewhat in a scenario where maybe they were sexually harassed, maybe they weren't, maybe they felt like that, or maybe they're thinking I can exploit this for money.
I think it's all for money because I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I don't want to say or pick sides, honestly, but it's just like I don't see him doing it.
Yeah, I don't see him doing that. The way he is positive. I mean, everyone's got their own mind and everyone's got their own fucked up thoughts and feelings just because we're human.
Yeah, and plus it's like he's got a beautiful wife.
Yeah,
he's got kids.
He's got money.
He's got lots of money. He's a multi-billionaire, and it's like, why would he risk all of that? And that's like what he's preaching about. He's like, don't be like that.
Yeah.
So I just don't see him being like that.
I personally, I don't.
But I have been surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious. I haven't heard about that. I'm gonna look into it. But I'm curious to see how this is gonna play out. What happened, to see if they all drop the charges at once because it was a made up story, or if it's gonna go out and go to court and there's like yada 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 and there's this huge fucking news story. I'm curious how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, same. What's your favorite thing about Ty Lopez? I love Ty Lopez.
So, favorite thing about Ty Lopez?
Yeah, like what does he preach about that you like?
Knowledge. No, I think that is true to a very big extent. Learning, I mean, you can read books, but it's a matter of what you take away from it, the matter of how you implement it into your life. You can learn about all the shit in the world. I can learn about real estate left and right. I can learn about selling left and right, how human mind works left and right. But unless I actually do something about it, it's not going to matter.
Yeah.
I think I really like his personality.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that he's fake.
Yeah, and I
don't think he's fake at all. I think that he's the genuine he's genuinely that person.
That's who he is, for sure. He had a hater, actually. He had a video he posted where he had somebody just shitting on him, and he like shot down every single accusation, quote unquote accusation, that he sent towards him. Which is interesting, how he addressed it himself. And
what were some of the stuff that he had said?
About how he ropes people in and does fake stuff for the e-commerce shit. And he broke it down and explained it to where he always says you pay for the course. He's not saying it's free. He's not saying this. He has different deals to get people enticed into it, and they know what they're signing up for.
A lot of people don't understand the courses. He's like, because a lot of people are basically like, if you're really that good of a person and you like preaching about like how easy it is to become successful, why don't you give it away for free? And my biggest thing about that is like, you got to treat it like a business, first of all. And it's like, second, if you're paying $5,000 to learn about how to make $100,000,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
It's a fucking huge investment. $9,000 investment.
Yeah. It's like, why are you complaining if you're not guaranteed that. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, though.
Right.
So it's like, you got to take that risk. And that's all about successful people. You got to go out and take risks.
Yeah. Absolutely, you gotta take them. Personally, I think you gotta take them while you're younger, because you can't take as many risks when you have a fucking life around you. But taking risks is a huge part of. That's how a lot of. I think most successful people got to where they're at by taking risks. Personally.
Yeah, really. Sylvester. I can't ever say it.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, it's so hard to say. I just like how Tony Robbins says it's Sly. Mm-hmm. It's just Sly. Mm-hmm. So, well, anyways, Sly, he basically trial and errored it. He wrote his own script, Rocky, and of course, all those times, before that, he had tried to become an actor, and none of them were good enough. He wasn't good enough because he had the weird mouth issue. But honestly, that's what made Rocky so good, is because it was it
was different.
It was different.
It was unique, yeah.
But he went to so many different places, and he was saying that he needed to be the main character.
Yeah.
He was the one that was fit to be the main character. And
maybe in other people's eyes, they didn't see that.
Yeah.
But he saw a dream, and he knew he was going to fucking go out and get it.
Yeah, you got to know what you're worth. And he knew what he was worth, and, I don't remember who the studio was, but, a studio, they were like, all right, well, if we're going to risk it, you're going to go down with us if this fails.
Right.
And so it was a risk.
Yeah, absolutely. But it fucking paid off.
And it got I don't even know, it was crazy amount of profit.
That's a classic.
Yeah, I think the total amount that they put into that movie was $500,000.
Oh.
And they got $6 million out of it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
How a little, quote unquote, little investment can turn into something huge.
Yeah. And one thing that he had done to get money, because he was really struggling on rent and all that, he sold his dog.
Really?
He sold his best friend, he said.
Damn.
He's
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he sold him for $50.
Fuck. You gotta think back then, but still, $50 if it was your best friend to fucking be able to live.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, he said he had found the guy where he sold his dog in front of a convenience store, and asked the guy to buy his dog back. And the guy said, no, it's my dog now. And so he started offering him money because he got a huge, obviously, investment.
Yeah, his career really took off after that.
Yeah, so He bought his dog back for like, I think it was like $25,000.
Damn. I'd probably sell the dog back.
Yeah, I would buy it. I'd definitely go back and buy my dog. I don't know what it is with dogs, but they really are like a man's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like you come in and it's just unconditional love every time.
That's their job. There's been studies done, and I'm not 100% sure if it's true, but like sometimes the dog will dream about the owner. That's the only thing on their mind is the owner and showing them love.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
you think about so many different things, and the dog's just thinking about you.
Yeah. And like you come in and they're just wagging their tail.
Like, my dog pisses on the floor. Every time I get home, I do that. If I don't let her out immediately, she'll like fucking piss on the floor, and like it's a fun.
How are your dogs?
Do it?
How are your dogs?
Well, dog. 2 of them died.
Oh,
it's fine. No, it was a long time ago.
The poodle one?
Poodle died back. That was over a year ago.
Dang, sorry.
That's fine. I appreciate it.
I remember going over there
and seeing him. Yeah. He just out of nowhere. It was funny. I was up in Michigan on a business trip, and then I just got a text and it said, "Hey, Sugar Bear's sick. He's not doing too well." So I got back and he's not eating his food, fucking like slumping around. And then we went and put him down because he did not feel good. He just was out of it, fucking in a daze all the time.
Yeah.
It was weird though, because as soon as we put him down, I guess all of his muscles, because he died, all of his muscles like relaxed, and this like white liquid drained out of his mouth and nose from his lungs. It was like some weird kind of infection. Yeah.
Dang.
It was real interesting.
That's sad.
It was really, yeah.
Well, do you think dogs have a dog heaven? Or do you think they go to the same heaven?
I don't know. So in my mind, I want to think that when I go to heaven, I'm going to see all my dogs there. And they're going to agree with me. It's like,
I mean, like they brought us so amount of joy. So much amount of joy. It's like, I hope they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why not? You know?
Yeah, in my mind, I don't know. I have to, obviously.
But then you got so many different things. Like maybe, there's this movie that, I don't know if it's out yet, but there's this movie where this dog dies, and this kid grows up, and every time that the dog dies, the dog somehow gets reincarnated and comes and finds the kid.
Oh, cool.
And so, like, the guy grows up with multiple dogs, but it's ultimately the same dog.
Same dog, yeah.
And I was like, man, that's an interesting kind of thing.
That sounds like a cool movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, one of the sad movies was Marley and Me.
Marley and Me, yeah.
Man, I think it just gets to everybody, because you watch the dog grow up.
It's a sad movie.
Yeah, you watch the dog grow up, and it's like, oh.
It's a good movie, but it's a sad movie at the end.
I want to see it again. I haven't seen it in a while.
It's been a few years for me.
When did it come out? Like 2013?
Let's see. That's Siri. When did Marley and Me come out?
Which one?
Which one?
So which one? We got Marley and Me, the puppy. Then we got Marley and Me. Oh, fine. It was Jennifer Aniston and Owen. That's funny. 2008. Answer your question.
Dang, that was a long time ago.
Over 11 years.
11 years.
Damn.
Jeez.
2005. That's crazy. 2009 was 10 years ago.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
You know, we've been out of high school for like 3 years. It was actually 3 years and like 3 weeks now.
Yeah. It's May 29th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 4 years.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you feel old?
No.
I don't need it. Well, I feel like it was like a lifetime ago.
It was a long time ago, and I thought I was old then, but I think everyone thinks that because that's as old as you've ever been.
You know, I always said that I wanted to be older when I was, like 18.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to turn 21. I'm like,
wish I was 18 again.
because like you don't realize like all the problems when you grow up. Because you get so many problems. Like, you don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to worry about
just go to school.
Yeah, you just
go
to school.
I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to school, whatever. And you don't really worry about that. You just think, I'm in school. I don't have to worry about shit. I'm going to go home, eat whatever the fuck I want. I'm going to go and do it all over again. And you just hang out with your friends in the summertime.
Yeah. I mean,
started working when I was 16, which all that fucking just died off kind of when I started. But still, I know what you're talking about. I'm glad I'm where I'm at now. I'm kind of glad I'm out of high school.
Yeah, I'm glad. I fucking hated school.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I
don't know if you remember, but I know you weren't in one of my classes.
Yeah, we were in English.
What?
Mr.
Riley?
Riley.
Mr. Riley.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I was meaning is that in one of my other classes, same year, I literally got a 0% F. because I slept every day.
You told me about that, yeah. You just walked in, and you just like threw your bag down, put your head down, ding, you woke up, went to the next class.
And that was Mr. Riley's class.
That was Mr. Riley's class.
Yeah, after that class that I would sleep in, I would just go to Mr. Riley's class.
Oh, so
because I had to pass that. I had to pass English.
Oh yeah, it was senior English. The other one didn't fucking matter. You set yourself up. I was in integrated classes.
It was like a remediate ACT practice.
Yeah, you don't fucking.
I was like, I'm not going to college. I don't need this shit. I told the teacher day one, I was like, I'm not doing this. She's like, well, you need to at least do this test to where I can see where you're at.
All right.
I did like an 80%, and she was like, all right, I know you're not stupid, so you don't need this class, but you know.
So you still technically passed? Huh? She saw where you were at, or no?
Well, I didn't pass. Obviously, I got a 0 F.
But she didn't. She knew like, okay, this guy's literate enough to fucking take a test.
Yeah. Okay. So I would just go to sleep in the corner every day. But what would really be shitty is like there are people that were in that class that needed that.
Yeah.
Because they were going to college and they were loud people. Like, it's so hard to sleep when you got loud people.
I mean, it was also in high school. I mean, it was senior year as well. No one gave a fuck.
Nobody did. I know I did, for sure. I definitely did not give no fucks. Kind of going back to heaven, I wanted to talk about the spiritual and like religion stuff with you, because it's. I mean, I feel like ever since we like really blossomed the relationship between us, it's kind of like. We talked about religion. I remember we'd stay out in LA Fitness and talk about
about in the parking lot for hours. Yeah,
hours. We would talk just about like religion. What's your perspective? Like, do you still like?
Cause I'm a Baptist, Christian. I went to a Baptist. I mean, I live in Kentucky, so I mean, Baptist is just kind of the thing. You get that Catholic. So yeah, I'm a Christian.
Right. Are you still like a very strong believer and like you go around like basically? Like, you know.
So I think with me back then, and I had to come to realize this, and it's a lot of the other stuff now too, not just religious based. I was somewhat like, I felt like it was my obligation to go out of my way and like force it on people so they knew about it. And that's not always the case, because it's kind of like sales. You force something on somebody and their immediate response is backing up. I don't want to hear any of this. I'm shutting down. So I'm more than happy to talk about it to people and with people, but I don't force it on people as much, because if they do that, the response, I would say 9 times out of 10 is going to be no. They don't want to hear anything about it.
So I think a lot of people got burned, not by you, but by people that would always go around saying
you talked to me about that before. How you used to talk about some stuff and people were just like, I think a lot of people did get burned and think that, oh, this person's the same as this person. They have a generalization about
See, I think it wasn't really a generalization for me. That's why I was actually interested in talking about it, because I still want to learn more about it. I'm not an atheist anymore.
Awesome.
By no means. I mean, I'm more of like spiritualist, and I actually looked up what spiritualist meant, and it's not like what my definition of it is, which is kind of like...
What's your definition? Whatever the definition is online, what's your definition?
My definition is that there's definitely a higher power that nobody can explain. It doesn't work necessarily for you, but it doesn't necessarily work against you.
Okay.
There's something that you just can't explain. I kind of like came to a realization whenever I started really meditating. I don't meditate anymore, but when I would meditate, and maybe weed had something to do with this.
Right.
I mean, weed is kind of like an eye-opener. I would meditate, and I could just almost feel like myself was out of body.
Okay.
Like out-of-body experiences all the time. And just like, I used to think every conversation, I might have even told you this back when we would still go to LA Fitness, is like, every time I would be in a conversation, I feel like I would be in like a third perspective, looking down.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, you felt like you're watching yourself, but you're also in the moment of talking.
Yeah, that way I'm not saying it from my perspective, but I'm also thinking collectively about the conversation. Like, you know, I could be wrong. And, you know, I might
you have an open mindset.
You're right, and I love that about me. Not everybody has that.
No, most people don't.
It's so sad.
There's actually, I'm going to look at this quote real fast.
Okay. My dad came up with a really good quote.
What is it?
You don't know, or you don't understand the magnitude of the moment until it's a memory.
I like that.
I was like,
cool.
Damn!
Really damn cool.
I was like, that was a great quote.
I can't find the quote. I remember I wrote it down in my journal.
It's all good.
But it was
Who was it from?
Oh, it's
Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by holy shit, what is that guy's fucking name? I have the book on my phone. Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie said that. It says, in essence, it says people don't want to be wrong. People just don't want to be wrong. People will say no to you that they're not wrong, even when they are. They don't want to admit it. People don't want to be wrong and will never admit that they are.
Yeah, I think it's like an ego thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody likes to be wrong.
No, it's an emotional response.
Yeah, I think that's like the thing with people. Whenever they're closed-minded, people just like shut down. And I think that's part of another reason why they don't like talking about religion. It's kind of taboo to talk about, is because they just shut down.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it.
They don't want to hear it. Your opinion will always be wrong. It doesn't matter what you say. But I think collectively, at least for me, and for open-minded individuals, like, it's always good to stay open-minded because you don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Anything. Nothing is guaranteed, and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, let's have an opportunity to learn. That's, I don't think Bruce Lee said this, but it was, don't correct a fool because they'll hate you for it. Correct a wise man, they'll thank you. I don't know. I don't think it was Bruce Lee. It might have been.
But still, that's a good quote.
Yeah, I think it's a great quote, and it's true. You correct somebody who is a quote-unquote fool, who doesn't want to hear that shit, their opinion's right, and don't want to hear anybody else's, they're going to get mad at you for it. Yeah. But somebody who's open-minded, they hear it, they think, oh shit, okay, this person's looking out for me, which I think a lot of people don't get when I talk, is I'm trying to look out for other people. Other people think I'm being judgmental, and I'm not.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing, because whenever I talk to like Eric and Nolan and, just anybody, I don't mean it to
hurt somebody, yeah.
Demean you.
Exactly.
I mean it
because trying to build them up and construct them.
Right, but sometimes I've learned this, and it kind of sucks. Some people don't want your advice.
Yeah, and
I've learned that the hard way. I almost lost a friend over it.
And it sucks.
It's like, I care for you tremendously, and I've been through what you're going through. So it's like, I know like how it feels personally. And it's just like, you want to help them like how you got through it, but it may not be the best thing to hear.
Yeah,
it could that. Like, I think whenever you're thinking of situations, I think if somebody goes through a certain situation, it's going to be exactly how, like, if you want to get out of that situation, like, if somebody who's been through it, like, they tell you how they got through it, I feel like, in my own opinion, if you do what they went through to get out of it, a very good possibility is going to come out that you're going to get out of it too. Yeah,
definitely. You can look at the other end of the spectrum with that, talking about, you look at Warren Buffett. His method of investing so fucking simple.
What is it?
I don't know exactly. Just investing in like low yield dividends. Actually, I don't think I don't know stocks that well.
Spread everywhere.
But kind of. But it has in real estate. Looking at a successful person who buys real estate. In essence, where you see somebody who's been through a bad scenario and they got through it. That's a successful person in that situation. Look at somebody who's wealthy. Oh shit, well they did this, this, and this, and this. Well, if I do the exact same thing, it'll work so it's the same thing, but it's just obviously different. It's a shitty scenario versus a good scenario, I guess.
Yeah, Ty Lopez, he had a pretty good example of that. He's like, you don't necessarily have, if you're getting into a business that has already been made, you don't have to create a new way to be in that business, replicate it and duplicate. So it's like, you do the same steps and you're going to get the same result.
That, for the most part, yeah. I mean,
for the most part.
Obviously, if you're investing, buying stocks, yeah. If you're starting a business, you can't do the exact same thing as every other person.
Because copyright,
exact same business. Yeah. You know what you're talking about. Yeah, I agree with that.
Speaking about that, I actually am going to start learning in school how to trademark and all that.
Oh, fuck yeah. I need to talk to you about that then.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. I think you have to go through like the I don't even know her name. I guess it's like the senator.
I'm not sure.
Of like.
Are you talking about like being like an LLC or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like owning your own company, like legally.
Yeah.
You have to go through like the senator. or like House of Representatives. I don't fucking.
I don't think if House Representatives would be correct.
We have to vote for like this.
Maybe the governor or something. I don't know.
The governor,
okay.
yes, that's what it was. My dad had told me, and I forgot who it was. It's the governor.
Okay.
So you have to go through the governor. You have to
a whole bunch of fucking paperwork and pay money. to the government.
You don't have to pay. It's like $20 to own a company.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's
All
like,
right.
and you just have to really go through it. Like, there's not even that much paperwork.
The process.
Yeah, it's like, but once the process is done, you own a company.
Yeah, your own fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, you're your own fucking boss in a way of you own your own company. Whether that company makes money or not, different story. But yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to talk to you a little bit about off the air about what I'm doing, but I think it's going to be pretty crazy to learn about trademarks and copyright claims.
It's a huge high income skill.
And plus, if like on Google, if somebody takes your work, you can get a lot of money out of it.
Yeah,
it's like be careful.
If they had money, I mean.
Yeah, but either way, it's going to be taken down.
You're educated, which is one of those important things.
Right. Kind of off topic again.
Yeah, what's up? No, I love going off topic.
Yeah, off.
I love mixing it up.
Do you think everybody should have a therapist? I think this is a thing that I strongly agree on, and I didn't come to the realization until very recently that everybody should have a therapist.
So, yes and no. And in the sense of, I do believe that mental health is something that, thank God now, it's not looked down on as much.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time, like even when we were growing up, it was kind of like you had to be strong on your own.
Yeah, or you're fucking crazy. And there actually are like things going on mentally in people's lives that sometimes they can't control.
Yeah.
Like I watched the Ted Bundy tapes.
Who's Ted Bundy? I feel like I've heard that name so many times.
I know who Ted Bundy is, but we talked about this fucking like 6 months ago.
Hold on.
Ted Bundy, one of like the worst, like most vile evil people, is on Netflix. There's like 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
Ted Bundy, yeah.
I just had
And it's just interesting because everyone's mind works differently, and he obviously terrible person, evil person, like fucking bad guy. But we don't know. I mean, some people don't realize that maybe their mind's like that, or not like that, but a sense of there's something going on there that needs to be addressed and how to figure it out instead of just being strong, like you said. You can't just do that. You have to figure out another way to fight the problem. It's like anxiety attacks.
Yeah.
Some people can't explain those, and they have to go figure out why. Because I mean, you keep having anxiety attacks, you think I got something going on in my head, I need to fix, and if you don't have a constructive way to fix that, then you're just stuck having anxiety attacks.
Yeah, I didn't realize till recently, like, because I've never really had it. I've had anxiety.
Yeah, I think.
But not. Yeah, everybody has anxiety.
You never had a point where you like passed out in the middle of.
No, I've never had an anxiety attack.
Okay.
So it's like, well, I'm not gonna mention any names.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're talking about.
like I knew somebody that had really bad, or I know somebody who's had really bad anxiety.
Talking about the same person? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Basically let him know, like, I've had anxiety, and the way that I dealt with my anxiety was basically like I had to kill the person who I was previously.
Okay.
And so like that's kind of like how the name Viralite came. And I mean, there's a story behind that as well. I'll have to explain that one day.
Okay.
But like I basically, whenever I was 18, I went through a very traumatic experience, and it kind of like started me on this journey of like finding out who I was as a person. And so like whenever I would have really bad anxiety, I would basically just tell myself, I have to do this because I have anxiety right now.
Okay.
So like if I didn't want to talk to nobody because I was anxious to talk to somebody, or I was really nervous, I would go talk to people.
Okay.
So I would confront my problem.
You would get yourself out of your comfort zone to
right,
fix it.
Right. I would directly do it the moment I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
You didn't overthink it, and that's what I think. And I don't know. There's a lot of different things that anxiety is, but I think that's smart. Where you, instead of overthinking the problem, you go do it, and your mind realizes, oh shit, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, but people that have like clinical anxiety, like something chemically in their brain is off, then it's different for them. But I always thought it was the same as mine, because I mean,
I thought this. Used to think that when I was younger.
But see, it was just kind of like the person that I was trying to help. I was like, you just got to confront your issue, man. Like, and it got to the point where it was going back to what we were saying earlier. Like, I almost lost a friend over it.
Yeah,
and is because like I kept continually like just confront your problems. He's like,
what worked in your mind wasn't necessarily working in their mind.
Right.
Okay.
And he would be like, the only thing that I had an issue with is that he wasn't confronting the problem.
Right.
So it was like like to me, he doesn't really know if it would have worked.
Right.
But he went to go see like a therapist / like counselor.
Yeah.
And it helped him. They prescribed him some like pills that he had to take.
Okay.
And I mean, he's getting better.
Good.
Which I mean is good for him. I'm glad. I'm happy for him as a friend.
Definitely.
You know, that he's getting better. But I just feel like I still feel strongly like if you have an issue, you have to confront it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like
You
even
can't
if
just
you
let the issue control you.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're anxious, like a very good example. If you're an artist or a comedian,
Yeah.
and you're scared of large crowds or just a crowd, the best way to get over that is to go do it.
Yeah.
Like you got to go do it, or else you're not gonna get better.
The fear of not doing it,
Right?
Yeah, or not even the fear of not doing it, and also the fear of getting up there and doing it.
Right.
You get up there and then boom, that fear is eliminated if you're in the moment doing it.
Right, and that's why I have a very strong belief that, again, not all anxiety can be cured by confronting your problems, but a good portion of it can be, dissolved just from confronting your problems. And I know another person that is going to a therapist, and his therapist is making him get out of his comfort zone and do stuff.
Yeah, it's fixing the problem.
And it's fixing his problem because he was kind of like antisocial.
Yeah.
So, like, his therapist is going. He's starting small. Like, he'd go. Now he lives in Boston.
Okay.
So I mean, it's like it's not a very small city.
Right. Yeah.
So the way he's doing it is he's going to make him like go out in small crowds and like talk to like these hot dog stands or like hey, can I get like a hot dog? Like trying to make small conversation.
Yeah.
Not getting the hot dog, but like just going up there and be like, oh, never mind. I don't really need the hot dog.
Okay.
So it's kind of creating an awkward situation, but it's helping him out.
Yeah, it's getting him used to that.
Yeah, and just talking to random people.
Scary.
Yeah, just talking to random people. I think that's a huge thing that is lost in society now is just socialization. And we talked about that at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
So
that's a little bit different than what we were talking about. Yeah, I think social, it's making connections.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people have anxiety, quote unquote, because of the way that they either grew up, and it's not necessarily a chemical imbalance, but they just
Could be a habit.
solidified it, made it a habit in their head that,
This is the way it has to be. This is the way it is,
So, I mean, anxiety is what it is. I mean, I hope everybody can get help and go see a therapist. And the biggest thing I think with therapists is you get to talk to somebody that you don't know
Exactly. So it's
about your problems. And it's kind of weird at first. I don't even have a therapist, but I mean, eventually I'll probably end up getting one, to be honest. It's like my dad had told me a long time ago. We used to clean this car dealership, and a guy that owned, like, kind of like co-owned the business, the car dealership, he was having like a lot of like rough issues, like with his home life.
Okay.
And my dad, he's a very talkative person.
Yep.
He'll talk your head off. But he went into his office one day and he was there and he was crying. And my dad was like, sometimes you just need to talk to a stranger. And I get that now, looking back on it.
Yeah, okay. I see that.
So, just gotta talk to people, really.
Yeah, definitely.
I think talking is a huge healing factor.
Vocalize what's going on inside. You can't just bottle it up and... Yeah, I definitely believe that.
It's a very strong belief in me. Kind of 180ing from like a anxiety. What would your dream day look like? Like, wake up to go into bed.
Like
every
going
day.
to bed. So... Oh, that's hard. Oh man.
It could be in the future, it could be now.
So, honestly, man, this is a hard one. This is a real hard one because I've got a different, bunch of different routes I can take. So, let's do ideal perfect world. I wake up.
Say 10 years from now.
10 years. All right, cool. So I wake up. I'm in a beautiful home, beautiful scenery. Hopefully, I don't want to say no neighbors, but I want to have my neighbors spaced out. I want to have like at least like half an acre between each neighborhood. I want my own place. I want my own zone.
I just want to own a mansion.
I mean, I do, but
yeah, in 10 years, it's very possible.
Absolutely, it will happen in 10 years, 1,000%. 1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah, 1,000%. I know it's gonna happen. 10 years from now, fuck, I'll be fucking 31. Yeah.
Yep.
So I did wake up. It's perfect world. I wake up and the sun is starting to come up.
So like 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. 6 a.m.
6 a.m.
Okay.
Wake up at 6, feeling good, great night's sleep. Got my beautiful wife next to me.
Oh, gotta have it.
Absolutely. Wake up and we're just both in good moods. And
little Chase comes running in.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, yeah, probably. I'll be a kid by then, probably.
Probably.
Yeah. I want a kid. I think I do. Yeah,
How many
I do
do you
want
want?
a kid. I don't know, man.
I want 2.
I'm thinking 2. I'm gonna start with 1.
End up being like 6.
Oh, God, don't say that. No. I don't know. Whatever God bless me with, it is what it is there.
Yeah.
But yeah, sure. Maybe have a kid come in, jump on mommy and daddy, go, and then either I'm making breakfast, she's making breakfast, whatever it is. We're all enjoying each other's company, having fun. Go out and maybe just watch the sunrise while we're eating breakfast. Enjoy each other's company with that. And then just have... So this is where I can take a different route with it. So, like 2 different scenarios. One, me and her, we relax in the hot tub.
Hey.
Maybe Chase Jr. goes, plays with a friend.
Like an hour?
Do it.
Like an hour?
No idea. This is when perfect dad. I'm not even worried about time.
Okay.
Do that. Just have fun. That's hard. That's the thing. I just want to hang out with people that I love and care about. Another scenario is I invite my mom over, hot tubs, fucking has fun. All my family comes over. We hang out together. It's all peaceful.
So daytime is like family day.
Yeah.
Daytime is family.
Daytime is family day. We go either have like a nice ass lunch, we go somewhere and I pay for everybody. Go to where everybody wants to go.
That adds up.
It won't be a
a
problem.
perfect day though.
Drink a little bit just to get a little loose, have fun. Then I don't know exactly what we're gonna be doing throughout the day.
Oh no, you ain't gotta worry about that. I'm just talking about like
Generalization.
would you work out like I'll give you my example.
Okay.
My example, in 10 years, I didn't really think about 10, but I thought about like I don't think I'll be married in 10 years.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, you don't know.
Exactly.
But my typical day of an ideal day would be wake up around 8 or 9.
Okay.
Sun is like sunset. It's like, or sunrise.
Right.
It's getting up there. And, I take my time, wake up, probably like 30 minutes goes by, start my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Start off the day with some coffee. About 9:30, get done with the coffee, kind of lay around a little bit, maybe read a book.
Mm-hmm.
Or read some of the book.
Right.
Then probably go to the gym around 9:30 to like 10:30.
Okay.
Maybe 11, depending on how frisky I'm feeling that day.
Right, I gotcha.
And then after that, come home, get a meal, definitely a meal, shower. So it'd probably be around 11:30.
Quick workout.
Or not 11:30, probably like 12:30.
Okay.
So probably around 1 o'clock, I would start working on music.
Okay.
I would work on music probably till about 5 o'clock. So
Okay.
about a good 4 hours. Now, whether I'm working with somebody,
Or working by yourself.
or if I'm working by myself, making music,
Right.
whether I'm singing or rapping or whatever I'm doing at that time, just me, by myself at that time. So at about 6 o'clock, 5 to 6 o'clock, I would probably start, seeing what everybody's plan is for the day.
Mm-hmm.
5
or 6 o'clock. So what are you guys doing today?
Because, everybody replies on their own time.
That's true, yeah. I mean, more than likely all of our friends are going to be getting off work around that time, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be retired.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but probably like 6 to like 7 to 8, we'll probably get into something, probably go get some like dinner or something, start socializing, maybe have like a little liquor, maybe some beers, some drinks, some weed. And then around 8 to 9, if we're not drunk,
right,
or just messed up, probably do a podcast.
Okay.
I really want to keep like consistent with the podcast.
Okay.
Again, I think one of my passions that I'm obsessed with is learning people's story.
Right, absolutely, yeah, definitely.
So it's kind of like, if I can learn people's story, like even when I'm like 10 years down the road, that'd be great. Especially if like people where I'm at now, in 10 years, it'd be like, damn man, I remember where I was when I was your age. And so that'll be like a typical day. And then I'm probably, after the podcast, hang out with my like best friends.
Okay.
If they were free. On an ideal day, they are free.
They're free, yeah.
And
it's on a Friday, so it's going into Saturday.
Yeah. And speaking about that, Friday, my birthday.
What are you doing?
We're going out to a bar. Me, Jeff, a couple other people.
This Friday?
Not this Friday. I don't turn 21 till August.
Oh yeah. Okay, I was like, that came up fast.
Yeah, this Friday, man, we're gonna go get fucked up.
Okay, cool, because I went out last Friday. All right.
I went last Friday. That shit was crazy.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've got enough time.
But then I would probably chill with them for about an hour and then probably go to bed.
Okay.
And that's a typical day.
Fun, make a lot of money in the meantime.
Yeah, it's like you get the workout, so the health.
Yeah.
You get the work for the money.
You get the socialization.
Socialization from your friends.
Social, yeah.
And the passion
of making music and doing the podcast.
And passion and podcast. And so that would be a typical day for me. One last thing I want to say. And this isn't really like a conversation or anything, but I admire you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
In a way that maybe isn't really noticed.
Okay.
I used to, you may remember this, but I used to text not just you, but my friend group at the time, like a friend appreciation post.
Right.
And you know, me and you, we don't really hang out as much as we used to.
Right.
But I was telling Jeff, it's not like when we do hang out, it's like we never skipped a beat.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I appreciate the friendship like that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your friendship as well, man.
But the way I admire you is your jobs. I feel like you've had a lot of jobs, and I fuck with that. I fuck with that heavy just because you didn't necessarily know what you wanted out of high school, so you kept trying different things.
Yeah.
And I fucked with that heavy, and I haven't really told anybody that, but like you got to go out there and try different things. And coming from me, I've had I had Culver's, Cane's, Target. I had 3 different jobs before I started working with my dad, which I think is going to be a catalyst for my music.
Okay.
So I don't think I'll have like another regular job.
Yeah.
I don't think, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's I want to start working for myself.
Yeah. And so, like, me coming from 3 jobs, I admire that you kept out and going and tried different things till you find out what you love to do. And you may not necessarily are about to or even have found your true passion.
Right.
But I admire that you're at least going out there and trying different things, because a lot of people don't even try different things.
Okay.
They just go out and
do the one thing.
And they're like, man, they either get stuck there and they get stuck in a loop where like, man, this is all I have. This is all I'll ever be.
I gotta do this, pay bills, yeah.
And I've seen it, especially at Cane's. And there's a guy that still works there. I worked at Cane's 2 years ago. It sucks.
It sucks to see it too. And you want to help them, but you know you can't really.
But they gotta help themselves. But I guess what I'm trying to say is like the guy that I was working with, he is stuck in a loop, and he kept saying that he's gonna change, and he kept telling me and Jeff that he's gonna change. And you know, he wanted to come and do some music because he apparently he's pretty good at rapping. I don't know, I've never heard of him, but he was saying that he wanted to come and do, you know, a couple of raps, and he was like, yeah man, I've changed for the better, like I'm tired of hanging around fake people, partying all the time. And he still does it. Yeah. And so it's kind of sad to me to when I see those type of people, but when I see the type of person that you are, it inspires me, and it's like an admiration.
Really? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
So it's pretty dope. Well, do you have anything else to say for this podcast, my dude?
Go follow the Up-and-Coming Media on Instagram.
Promote.
Yeah. We're gonna be getting some videos out soon. Excited about that. I'm excited about this podcast, man. Listen to the last episode. I'm excited about who else is gonna come on here.
Yeah, you know who's next? Well, not next, but the person after him.
Who's that?
Jacob Porter.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, he's rapping, right?
Yeah, he's rapping. He does the undergrass, and that would be a fun conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be really cool, man.
I also want to get Jacob on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll get that done.
Well, I mean, I still hit him up. I feel like he could talk a lot about fitness and what he's doing.
Yeah, definitely.
He's huge.
He's so go follow. Let me see. Hold up. Ah, shit. Let me see.
And the phone's broke.
Yeah. Thank God for spec cases.
Yeah, I got an OtterBox. I need to get a new OtterBox, but this one's all kinds of fucked up.
So Jacob, so JCUB .lifts LIFTS. This man is dead. Where's he at now? He's deadlifting
like 600.
Oh, no, he's fucking past that.
He's past that?
He's deadlifting like...
I follow him on Instagram. I'm like, dang, son.
He is... So he's combined at a meet. If so, he weighs 118.5 kilograms is his weight at a meet. And his total...
What is the kilograms?
He's like 260.
Okay. He's a big dude.
And his total weight that he lifts is 1609.4 altogether with bench, squat, and deadlift. His deadlift is fucking... I think it's 715, 720 now. His bench is up to...
His benches are crazy.
He almost like... I fucking forget where he's at. His squat is... It's insane. It's like 560.
That's inspiration right there, though.
He's all natural, which is awesome.
Yeah.
He doesn't fucking stop. Loves it. He's going to be deadlifting 800 pounds by December.
He came in third or second. It was either third or second.
I don't remember. He set 2 new records. For his age group. He set 2 new records in Kentucky for his deadlift.
Do you see what, like, this past year that he did?
He came in something fucking wild. For, like, a national meet.
Yeah, I thought it was, like, third or second.
It was something up there. For his first national meet ever. It was insane.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. But I want to get him on, too.
Definitely. I'll talk to him about that. He would love to do this.
Yeah, I feel like he would like it. But, so the Up-and-Coming Media, make sure you go follow.
Media. Yep, absolutely.
You want to spell it out for him?
So
UPAND.
Yeah, it's so the Up and Coming Media.
It'll be in the description below.
Okay, yeah.
So make sure you go hit up my boy Chase.
Mm-hmm, yes, sir.
And Carson.
Yep, Chase and Carson.
Yeah, can't forget about Carson.
Also on Twitter as well, yeah.
We got to get Carson on here too.
We will. Yeah, he's just busy.
When do you think he'll be free?
I don't know.
We can talk about that later.
We'll figure that out.
All right, y'all. Take it easy. Have a good day. See ya.